traders from across the globe. Welcome to Short-Term Trading Live with Oscar's 608th video. Yeah, 608, baby. Traders, this video is being filmed on Thursday night for trading on Friday, July 23rd, 2010. First things first, our money tree from yesterday. Talk about a money tree that bears no fruit. Oh my God, this thing needs to be chucked out the window. Traders, those trades that we tried yesterday were so bad. I mean, they were so bad. In fact, the traders who followed me yesterday, let me just do a little something for you so that you can at least feel a little better about yourselves, because I'll tell you what, traders, if I were you, this is what I want to see right now. What about those trades, Oscar? What are you out of your mind? How could you do that to us? All right, you see, how's it feel? Does everybody feel a little better? I know. I want to beat myself up too, but traders, not much you can do about it. What happened there was the analysis was just dead wrong. I mean, the homework was done correctly, but the analysis was just absolutely dead wrong yesterday. And of course, I take credit for a bad one just like I would a good one. But here is what I do, traders. Everyone's got their own quirks about them. Professional traders, they got to do lots of things to keep themselves on an even keel. When I have a bad day or a bad trade, I'll stay in and fight all day. If I get into a trade and it's working for some time and then it starts to flip against me. But when I have a day like yesterday, here's what happened. I filmed a video for you. I stood in front of the board, showed you a technical argument, which was pretty good, said the markets are supposed to go down. They went up, but not just up. They went up so fast and so hard, I was stopped out before the morning. All of us were. The trades were knocked out and stopped out before this video was even hot and on the air. I don't know. I guess the video made it out first, but that's how bad it was. And when I'm that wrong, complete wrong direction, complete wrong area to trade, I step off, traders. That's one of my quirks, but I don't know if you call it a quirk. I step off and I disappear. I don't look at the market. I just turn my head for a good 14, 15, 20 hours if I have to. Because if I completely do not understand the move, I step off and I reset the circuits. And that's what I did yesterday, and that's what I always do when I have a day that is just completely upside down. I'm not saying that that would work for you, but that's what I need to do. And the last thing I need to do is stand in there and try to sell it again and try to sell it again and try to get my money back, because you know what? When you're completely upside down with the trade, you're better off stepping away. I can tell you this. I know a lot of traders over the years that if they were having a day like I had yesterday, they started off selling, they'd be selling it the whole day until their account gets wiped out. Now, again, if I get into a trade and it's just a rough and tumble trade, I'll stay in and fight all day. But when I'm that upside down on a trade, I run for the hills like a little wuss. You know what I mean? I want no part of getting beat up any further on that day. So just to let you know why I do what I do when the markets do not go my way in a big way. All right, so now that we got that out of the way, I did a lot of analysis tonight, and traders, here's what we got. The Omni is green for trading Thursday into Friday for Friday's trading. The Omni flip-flops again, and I don't know if any of you Omniacs have paid attention to it, but we've had Omni flip-flopping like a lunatic this week. In fact, it started on Thursday last week, and it's just been flipping almost every day. That is usually an indication of a very big move out of the area that we're into now and into a new area. Does it point to up or down? It does not. The Omni flip-flop does not give you whether it's going up or down. It tells you that you're about to get out of the area you've been in and into a new trading zone. So the Omni has been flip-flopping all week. It has flip-flopped again for trading on Friday. The leading indices, the Dow Jones Transportation Average, the NASDAQ, the FTSE, the leading indices are all back above the 200 bar moving average. And traders, as soon as that happened on Thursday, the buying came out of the woodwork. We settled above those averages, and I think that's what happens tomorrow. So for Friday, we are looking for the markets to go higher. Traders, I know we got hurt yesterday, but you keep those dukes up and you get in there and you trade on Friday just like we do every day. You never, ever run from these markets. Turning and resetting the circuits is one thing. Running from the markets is something that we don't do. We get back up, we put our gloves on, and we hit right back. That's what I plan to do on Friday. So stick around. Make sure you are at the site. It's www.livewithoscar.com. Come into the chat rooms and we'll box this market right back into submission on Friday. Gods of trading willing. All right, so traders, I got a couple of charts I'd like to show you. It's a pretty picture. We'll look at it and then we'll go from there. With no further ado, let's go look at some charts. Okay, traders, the first chart this evening is the Dow Jones Transportation Average Daily Bar, deemed the leader of U.S. indices. And the leader got back above the 200 bar moving average very smartly, I might add. Look at that right there. Back above the 200 bar mover and went straight up to the top of our parallel channel. But that's where it gets slightly tricky because it must penetrate this parallel channel in order to go anywhere else, right? It's going to have to get above that. But it is now above the 200 bar moving average. And as I tell you in any video that involves the 200 bar moving average, the fund managers come in and buy the crap out of it when it gets above a 200 bar moving average. It actually did today, early in the day, and the buyers came out of the woodwork. So we have a challenge right here, but I still say that after today's action, Thursday being very busy, Friday will be a buy the dip mentality day, and you will get traders in here buying the dips based upon the 200 bar mover. And of course, many indicators have flipped to bullish. So Omni likes it. It's now back above the 200. Another reason to like it. And if we can penetrate that parallel channel resistance line, away we go, off to the races. What this will end up being known as, this whole thing right here, will end up being known as a big bull flag in the larger scheme of things if we break through here and go. Very interesting. What a difference a day can make, because we were below that 200 bar yesterday and it looked quite bearish. We get back above it, buyers come out of the woodwork. Omni flip-flops, a lot of action taking place. All right, traders, so that leader certainly above the 200 bar now and looks like it's on its way. Let's look at another leader. Okay, traders, secondary leader, the NASDAQ. Look at the NASDAQ back above the 200, smartly above the 200. You know the buyers are watching that. So another one of our leaders are back above the 200, and you have to look at that as a positive signal. Again, technical indicators on the NASDAQ are quite bullish as of Thursday's close. Let's look at another chart here. Okay, traders, the leader out of Europe, the FTSE, Financial Times Stock Exchange. Look at this. Blasts off above the 200 bar moving average. Leaves what looks like will be construed as a bullish flag, breaks out above it, and is now above the 200 bar moving average. I say that's quite bullish, and the indicators have gotten bullish. So a leader out of Europe is bullish. Now, trade is one thing to be careful of. Cautious, I should say. Here's a top. If you run a line across here, we're just getting into that double top tonight. So Thursday night into Friday morning, you need the FTSE to bull through that past top, the previous high that we had on this move, and then you can really get some buying and off to the races you should go. So once again, one of the world leaders, the FTSE, bullish above the 200 and is going to move higher Thursday into Friday. Traders, pull your own charts, do your own homework, look at these leaders. We do trade the follower, right? The S&P. If the three leaders I just showed you are all above the 200 bar moving average, then this chart right next that I'm going to show you should follow in suit and do the very same thing. Follow the leader, we call this. It's the Emini S&P. I showed you the leaders are above the 200. I am going to play follow the leader on Friday and expect that the S&P gets at least to above the 200 bar moving average. Follow the leaders, traders. That's what I do. It doesn't always work, but in more instances than not, you will find yourself on the right side of a move if you simply just follow the leader. So, traders, you've seen those charts. We're back above the 200, and when we're above the 200, you know what happens. Traders, I will say this. You keep those dukes up tomorrow, right? You put your dukes up. You do not let these markets scare you. The analysis isn't always going to be right. you make sure that you put a stop in, because we all know that a stop is your best friend. And if you didn't have stops in yesterday, you would have been annihilated, let alone just beat the crap out of, like is what happened to us. So make sure your stops are in. Make sure you put them in first. And make sure you keep these dukes up, okay? Traders, make sure you come on down to the site. Make sure you come into the chat rooms, because I will be there tomorrow, come hell or high water, trying to make sure that we get our points back. All right, traders, don't forget that futures trading is really risky, as we know, and can cause substantial financial loss. So please do not trade these markets if you do not have risk capital. I think that's about all I'm going to say in this video. I'm glad that I beat myself up a little bit, because it makes me feel a little better. And I hope it made you feel a little better, because I'll bet you wished your hand was in one of those gloves. But enough of that, traders. On to the next trade. That's what professional traders do. All right, traders, try to keep your emotions out of this thing tomorrow. One of the best things you can do to help yourselves with that is say this to yourselves every morning, every afternoon, every evening. And you know what that is. Stops are in. Emotions are out. Always remember, futures trading is risky and can absolutely result in substantial financial loss. Traders, trading futures is not for everybody. It's not suitable for every trading account. And as always, past performance is not indicative of future results.